Hey everyone, this is Quinn with Get to Know Gives Back, part of our Gazette Gives Back annual program, sponsored by Collins Community Credit Union. Very excited to have them as our presenting sponsor throughout the year. For those that are unaware about the Gazette Gives Back and what that's all about, this is an annual program that provides over $500,000 in free advertising credit to 40 nonprofits that exist throughout Eastern Iowa. This is a way for them to be able to raise awareness and educate people on the services they provide, their mission, their scope of services, and of course, how people can get involved, how people can use those services, and of course, support. The second piece of this is one of my favorite parts of our program, which is this program called Get to Know Gives Back. This gives us a chance to chat with each one of our nonprofits, to hear a little bit about their history, about the services that they provide. And of course, as we are still going through pandemic and post-derecho, a lot of pivots that have had to be made by all of these nonprofits. So getting to hear the latest from them. And with me today, I'm very excited, Sherry Ross, who is with Definitely Dogs. And Sherry, there are certain moments that hit me of like, oh, I just miss that interaction. I miss seeing you with Dewey. I miss seeing you, but Dewey is usually with you, one of your dogs.
Yes, I know. I miss having the dogs out and just interacting with people and being able to give a handshake or a hug to people. It's definitely a different world.
Well, our whole Gazette building gets excited when we do these Get to Know Gives Back with you, because we know that you're going to be coming with Dewey, but we're still excited to talk to you. And I know that you and Dewey and Gary, your other dog, you guys have been very hard at work. But you've been a partner with us. You've been part of Gazette Gives Back now for a couple of years. But for those that are unaware of what you're all about, why don't you start with just your mission and the resources that you provide?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we're thrilled that we're part and still part of the Gazette Gives Back. It means a lot to us. So thank you, everyone at the Gazette, and thank you, Quinn, for all you do. So Definitely Dogs is a local nonprofit here in Cedar Rapids that train and places service and facility dogs. And so, we train PTSD dogs and hearing notification dogs. And I'll get into a couple of other types that we have trained, and then also professional facility dogs. So our goal is truly, as an organization, is to enrich the lives of those with disabilities, whether they're visible or invisible, to lead a more independent life through the love of a dog. And so it really is about positively training our dogs, making sure our dogs are happy, healthy, and enjoying the work they do, and being partnered with either their person as a service dog, or if they're super social dogs, we have them work as facility dogs so they can enjoy interacting with the community. And so it's really about the love of dogs through and helping people.
I continue to learn so much about this organization and the services and just the process. One thing I saw online was that some of this training starts like at 8 weeks old.
Oh yeah.
For some of the puppies. That is just
Yeah.
amazing. Like, what can you teach an 8-week-old puppy?
I know. And before
Because I certainly
started,
did not teach it to mine when I
my personal dogs before, because I'm not the trainer of Definitely Dogs, I do more of the fundraising and public awareness.
Right.
And before I started working with the trainer Lorette Van Orney, who's a phenomenal trainer, I never thought an 8-week-old puppy could learn anything either. But literally within a week of training and working with our puppies, we only use positive reinforcement. So it's only things that whether it's a touch or a treat, that gets the puppies excited to learn. And we don't even call it training so much as we learn, we teach them. And 8-week-old puppies can learn how to sit. By 9 weeks old, they have it down. It is amazing how intelligent, if we honor them and let them be as smart as they possibly can be, they can learn amazing things. They're learning to come, and just it's amazing what little teeny tiny puppies can learn, and how they just continue to develop and grow every single week and month and day. They're amazing animals.
So take us through, well, I'll let you pick. So
Okay.
there is the typical process. There's the application for somebody that is seeking a dog. Then
Mhm.
there's the volunteer and the training of the dog. Which one you want to start out with? I'll let you pick as far as the process is concerned. How these placements work?
Yeah. And so we do have an application process. So we'll start with applicants because people are interested, really want to hear about that. So our application process is literally a long form that has to be filled out by the applicant. It includes information on their condition, doctor's referrals. So it's not just I want a dog. It is you have to qualify through ADA to have a service dog work with you out in public. So we have a detailed application. We sit down and we meet with every client. Now it's virtual, the first meetings, and just talk about our philosophy because we're not like every normal service dog organization. We just don't have 10 dogs and 10 applicants and match up by numbers. We literally let our dogs choose their job and choose their person. So we explain that process to them and you know, how we work with our dogs and how people have to respect our dogs when they get placed with them as well. And that it's not all just, yay, I have a dog, my life is all better. There's a lot of work that goes into having a service dog, the care. You have to keep up the training because dogs will sit on the couch with you and eat potato chips if that's all you want them to do. And they'll easily lose and give up their training that they have learned and their tasks that they know if you don't reinforce their training and their task-driven behaviors. And so we talk to people, you have to leave the house with a diaper bag because you have a dog. And if they have an accident, you have to be able to clean it up. If they have to go potty, you have to have your supplies for that, food and water if you're going to be gone for a while. So it's not just I get to walk out the door with my dog. There's a lot more involved in a service dog. So we talk to people and make sure that they're ready for that commitment. And especially dealing with PTSD, are you ready to have people come up to you in public when we can be out in public freely again and come up to you and start talking to you and tell you you have a beautiful dog? Will you be able to handle that with your condition? And some people aren't ready for it yet. So there's a lot that goes into meeting with clients and making sure that it's a right fit.
Absolutely. Well, and it's such a unique perspective, but it's so true of letting the dogs choose their people, because you
Yes.
don't want to force anything because nobody wins. Certainly the dog is not happy, and
Mhm.
the client won't be happy, the applicant won't be happy. That's going to be a
Absolutely.
hard decision. That's going to be a hard discussion because I'm sure that there's not always love connections at first
Yeah,
round.
and we tell people that. I mean, it's a unique perspective that we have, and it's not just some organizations, do it. They'll bring in 5 applicants for team training and put 10 dogs in the room and let the dogs kind of go to them. We do one-on-one. So we will tell our clients, you're going to meet dogs individually, and we're just going to watch you interact with the dogs. And this can start when the client, when the puppies are even like 8 or 9 months old, we'll start watching interactions that they have with our clients when they come in and do dog introductions. But I will tell you 100% of the time, we have had a spark with our clients and a dog. Usually we have a pretty good idea and it works, but every once in a while we're completely shocked and surprised, and it's amazing. And every time I think about any match, I get goosebumps. It is the most magical thing to witness in the world. It just happens so effortlessly and it's so natural. And if I could bottle it, I'd be a multi-billionaire. It's lovely to witness.
That is very cool. So, can you talk to us a little bit more about those that are working with the dogs? I mean, you mentioned one of your
Yep,
colleagues, your team members, but how does that process work? Getting to that point.
absolutely. Yep. So we are dependent on amazing people who volunteer with us who will be puppy raisers, whether it's for a limited amount of time or they want to take a dog through the whole 2-year process of having it. And these people take dogs into their home and attend training at Deafinitely Dogs. Right now, we're doing virtual training, which is a little bit more complicated. It's nicer to be able to have the dogs, in house. We're working towards that goal. And in the summer, we always have classes outside. So that's fun. But so these people take the dogs into their houses. They are pets when they're there, but they do age appropriate training with them throughout the day, like 5 minutes a day when they're babies, up to 15 to 20 minutes a day. When we can again go out in public safely, the dogs can go everywhere with them in public that you can take a wheelchair basically. And so the dogs get exposure to all sorts of training. And we're really limited to the number of dogs we can place by the number of puppy raisers we have, because we don't want to run a kennel. We don't want dogs in a kennel. We want dogs in homes, in loving homes. They're going to a loving home. So we want them to experience that loving home from puppyhood on, so that when they transition to their loving home with their person, it's an easier transition. So they're not just kennel dogs with kennel stress. They're actually dogs that are in homes going to a home.
How difficult, I've got to ask, because I put myself in that situation.
Yep.
I'm like, that would be so difficult to give that dog up after spending that much time with them. Do you have people that really struggle with that, or are they pretty well prepared?
We tell people, if you do not have any problem turning a dog over after you've had it for 6 months or a year, then you probably aren't the right fit for our program.
Okay.
um, because it is just, these dogs are so special. And there's the only thing close to it to compare is fostering children. I mean, they are that loved and amazing. And I have fostered 3 dogs that have went on to their careers or to their next puppy raiser. And it is difficult. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't have tears in my eyes after I walked away because I didn't know what the dog to know. I was upset, but turn the dog over and have them going is difficult. And our puppy raisers do shed tears. There's always Kleenex available for them. But I will tell you that it has been amazing because every single puppy raiser to date has stayed in contact with the person, the recipient that has received the dog. And
Oh,
we always
good.
ask that question when, before they are partnered with the dog, is if it's okay to keep in contact with the puppy raiser. And that has formed, especially for our PTSD and psychiatric service dog applicants, it has formed yet another connection in the world when they're usually pretty limited in their connections. And even if it's a text message every couple of months, hey, the dog's doing great, or thank you, or this is what so-and-so did today, goofy dog pictures, playing fun, different pictures. It gives them a network and they stay in touch. And it's just a different part of the Definitely Dogs family that we always talk about.
That's
So yeah, it's
excellent. Okay,
amazing.
good.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's probably one of like the big questions is like how could you possibly do that? But to your point, that there is a positive end game there. So so
absolutely.
let's
And
talk a
I'll
little
tell
bit.
you,
Oh, go ahead,
I'm,
please.
I'm sorry. When we have events and if the applicants come with their dog and the puppy raisers were there, we know we're going to have naughty, happy dogs we always try to like put them over to the side, away from the crowd, because the dogs remember their puppy raisers. They are thrilled to see them. They will be goofy and just be all over them, loving them and hugging them. But the minute that their person starts walking away, they know that they know that their person is their person, and they're right with them. But
They're
they're
like, I
thrilled to see
remember I
their
have a
puppy
job to do
raisers.
here.
Yep,
Oh,
yep, yep. I was put on earth to be with this person, but thank you for helping me get there. It's amazing. And my dogs that I raise still wag their tail, and I get to see them. And I'm goofy and stupid with them. I get on the floor and we hug and cuddle and kiss and have a great time. And then they go off back to the people that they were meant to be with.
that's great. So let's talk a little bit about 2020 and what we're still going through in 2021. I imagine you mentioned some of the conversions to online training and things like
Mhm.
that. Um, Certainly we can talk about those adjustments, but increase in demand when it
Yeah.
comes to service dogs. I be hard pressed to think of circumstances where this would not, what we're going through, have some sort of increase in demand. But what are you seeing? How are applications? Have you had to make any adjustments in that arena?
Yes, and thank you. That's a good question for us. We've had to do a lot of soul searching and make hard decisions in 2020. Not only for funding, we knew our funding was going to be down, but also from the moment COVID hit the United States in March to today. And then when Duratio also struck in August, it was another spike. But we have seen a significant request increase for our PTSD and psychiatric service dogs and our facility dogs. So we had to look at what we were able to do as an organization, and who we could help the most in the next several years. And so we had to make the hard decision to suspend applications for our diabetic alert, autism, and mobility assist, partially because those are very intense one-on-one team training. And so it takes a lot more resources, but also because we have seen such a significant impact of the PTSD dogs, and we are getting so many applications and requests. And the need in the future that we foresee in the next 3 to 5 years is a huge spike as the world starts coming down and we start living in our new normal, whatever that's going to look like. We have all these workers that have been out there, the nurses, the doctors, the EMTs, people in mental health that have been dealing with decisions they've never had to make before, life and death decisions. I'm going to work every day and risking not only my life, but the life of my family. And those are all trigger stacks, which will eventually, after a long time, will lead to the potential diagnosis of PTSD for those workers. And so we see a huge increase, not only for that working population, but also the people who are gravely ill. They know your chances of getting PTSD is increased by 30% if you were in ICU or in intensive care. And also people that have to adjust from working at home and being afraid to be out in public to going back to the offices sometime this year. The mental health arena is getting geared up to really start dealing with all the stress and anxiety that that's causing. And so our applications for facility dogs, for just organizations, even just regular companies that aren't in the medical field, just to get some relief to their employees, to have a dog in their organization that stressed employees can go and interact with and calm down and get grounded again. The need for that is going to be significant. So we've had to suspend some of our applications, and with the focus going towards mental health and helping out the COVID situation that's going to be upon us in the next few years.
It's amazing how we've shifted, even well into last year, I can't wait. I can't wait to go back to sporting events and concerts and large gathering. Everybody was just so hungry to get that back. And you nailed it, Sherry. There's so many more of us that we're still excited to do that, but we're very aware that it's going to be a process. It's not going to necessarily be something that everyone's just going to be able to jump back into and be totally comfortable with. And I think we're recognizing that more and more as people are starting to try to get out and about wherever it's safe and it makes sense. It's very easy, and people are triggered very easily. It feels, and that's healthcare and emergency workers aside. I mean, that's a whole other audience and demographic that are in need of these services. So I think it's amazing that you have. I know it could not have been easy because the need is significant everywhere, but it's fantastic that you saw the need to focus in and really concentrate on this segment of need. So you did mention that you're going to have some fundraising, some opportunities for people that want to get involved and support. So take us through how people can get involved.
Absolutely. So we are thrilled to celebrate our 7th anniversary on Valentine's Day.
Excellent.
And so, yeah, it's a great anniversary date, right? And so we are actually launching on Valentine's Day the Cutest Critter Contest. So it'll be online. You can submit pictures of either your dog or cat or whatever animal. It has to just be an animal. And then people are going to be allowed to vote on what is the cutest, what they think is the cutest. And you can vote for yours as many times as you will like. So to enter is only $5. We're trying to keep things affordable, given our current environment. And then each vote is $1. And so that will be running through March. And we're going to announce the winners on March 23rd, which, believe it or not, is the Cutest Puppy Day and Cutest Cuddly Kitty Day. There are actually days in the calendar. Yeah. And so we decided to end it on those days. So we'll announce that evening which one won in both the dog category, and then we're going to have a cat and other animal category. And so that's coming up right around the corner. And then on March 12th, we are going to be having a virtual event that will be launched on our webpage at 6:30 on March 12th. It is going to be like about approximately 1 hour video that will share with you more about Deafinitely Dogs, what we do, our mission, how we do it. We'll talk more about the COVID and the mental health situation that we're dealing with, as well as how you can get involved, how, if you're interested in puppy raising, virtual volunteering right now, and then also just different ways you can support us. We're launching a $5 a month donation campaign because we know people are struggling right now. And so one of our goals is to have people still feel good and be able to participate and help nonprofits, but without feeling the need for a huge donation where, people can give us $5 a month. And then at the end of the year, they can opt in or opt out to receive a specialty t-shirt that gives thanks for their donation. And so so that's another campaign that we're starting. We're just really trying to embrace the virtual and make it accessible for everybody.
So there's really an opportunity all year round for people to get involved and and support. That's excellent. So Sherry, is there do you have a Facebook page? Do you have any other places that people can follow, either if they're interested in um, applying, submitting an
Yep,
application for services, or to again support? Is it website, Facebook,
absolutely.
or combo?
Yep. So we have our website, which is definitelydogs.org. So it's DEAFINITELY dogs.org. So our website has everything, and we'll also have the events on there. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, and we're on basically all the social medias. We're the best on Facebook. We are not great on Twitter. So if you're a Twitter person, I'm sorry. But we try to stay on top of all the social media and have posts so you can see cute puppy pictures, get training tips, and just enjoy a little bit of relief from the everyday just by looking at adorable dogs.
Who doesn't want to do that, right?
That's right. Yes.
Well, Sherry, thank you for joining me today. It's been great to hear from you, and congratulations on being part of the Gazette Gives Back 2021. We're thrilled to have you back this year, and congratulations and thank you for all you're doing for our community. I know your work, along with our other nonprofits, it doesn't stop. It's just grown over the last few months. So
Right. Well,
thank you for
thank you
that.
so much, and thank you for helping us spread the word. We really don't spend money on advertising, as little as possible, and this is such a great venue and such a great opportunity for us. We're thrilled that we're part of it, and we're so thankful.
Absolutely. Give Dewey a scratch for me. Tell him I
I
miss him.
will. I will.
And thank you to our viewers for checking out another episode of Get to Know Gives Back. To learn more about Definitely Dogs and our 39 other nonprofits that are part of this amazing program that's sponsored by Collins Community Credit Union, you can go and check out the Gives Back website, which is thegazette.com/givesback. You can see Sherry's interview with me and also all of our archive videos, as well as videos that will be coming up throughout 2021. I'm Quinn Pettifer, and we will see you next time.